Okay, here it is. The Volvo EX30. It was a customer appreciation event for Volvo owners, and despite the terrible rainy weather, I was very lucky to get to attend this event. I had recently reached out to Bobby Rahal in Washington to see if they had any info on the EX30, and they called me to tell me there was a 2-hour event for customers and to come on over anyway. There would be an EX30 unit on site. I really like this color. What do you think? And since they were kind enough to hook me up with this exclusive look at the EX30, make sure you check out Bobby Rahal Volvo if you have more questions about availability or anything else Volvo related. The sales staff that was on site was excellent, knowledgeable, friendly, and great to talk to. It was really a great experience all around. The seats in this dual motor trim of the EX30 were cloth, but unlike any other I'd ever seen. I really like the feel. It seemed durable, and I didn't get the impression it would be super difficult to clean, at least as far as cloth goes. The next thing you'll notice is there's not a driver's display, unlike the EX90 that was also on display at this event, and we'll take a quick look at that shortly as well. The best way I can describe the EX30 interior is no nonsense. It's intuitive and well thought out, but it doesn't feel as minimalist as the Model 3. For example. Volvo has taken some steps to elevate the interior by being creative with the materials. The door handle is metal and has a confident feel, but this vehicle is also very clearly entry-level, as it's got exactly what you need and nothing else. I really like this differentiation throughout the Volvo design language. The center armrest is just that. It doesn't open. Power locks are in the center console, accessible by passenger and driver, right beside the window switches. And instead of 4, they just have a toggle for the rear. This doesn't seem as much cost-cutting as it does efficient, as the same functionality exists in the EX90. The cup holders look to be able to hold pretty large drinks, and the rubber tabs don't move.
Cup holders this is just rubber, it doesn't move.
But do seem durable enough to hold a small drink in place as well. The material of the tabs is a flexible but rigid rubberized product and feels solid as far as durability, but I wouldn't call it elegant, and it's not my favorite cup holder delivery, if I'm honest. Even if I do like the interior colored tone where the drinks would land. The right side of the wheel has next and previous track, as well as menu navigation keys. It looks also like the D-pad to adjust your mirrors and steering wheel, etc. The voice command is also accessible from the right side of the steering wheel, exactly where it would make sense to be. The left side has ADAS features and screen layout options. As far as the steering wheel, it doesn't look like it would be hard to adjust to this layout coming from almost any other type of car from any brand. On to the stocks. The right stock is laid out exactly like a Tesla, with park being a button on the end. And I really like the feel and the weight. These are really well delivered stocks. And why do we focus on stocks? Well, this is a budget Volvo at the end of the day, and high quality feel of materials is what separates this Volvo from other mainstream brands. There's definitely a luxury feel here, even if it is entry level. The vents are vertical and manual and look to be efficiently placed. They take up as little space as possible without compromising functionality, and they're almost attractive, which is hard to say about vents. The material on the dash is a cross-hatched and extruded plastic type material, but is obviously different than any material I'd expect to see. Looks more like something recycled, but not in a bad way, and gives the EX30 a stylish vibe, but also exclaims compact entry-level car. I don't mind it. Directly above the wheel is an in-cabin camera system, as to be expected on any modern vehicle with advanced driver assistance. High beams, blinker, and wipers are all located on the left side stock, with the wipers being engaged by the buttons on the end. But the most impressive aspect of the EX30 is its optimization of space. I'm not used to being in compact EVs with bespoke ground-up designs, as I live in the US, and I'm absolutely impressed by what this Volvo does with the footprint. Headroom is great if you're 6 foot like me. 6'2" was the tallest passenger I was able to sit beside today, and once he lowered his seat down, he also had plenty of headroom as well. The roof of the Volvo is stationary glass, but this trim of the EX30 came with a shade as well. I didn't touch it. I was just happy to be there. I really like the driver's seat adjustment knob. It's unique and feels high-end. There's a button in the middle of it, which I didn't notice till I watched the video back, but it enables additional seat features like lumbar, which you can adjust from the screen once you press it. Nothing special to report regarding the CCS, but the door seems solid, and it's mounted on the driver's side rear, which is the correct placement. Bonus points for that. Moving to the rear, the EX30 does a great job of elevating Volvo's design language for the compact crossover segment. It looked great from behind, in my opinion. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with this vehicle or the infotainment, but I was able to find the trunk release on the center screen under the home menu almost immediately, which is a hold, not a tap, I learned. But let's talk about this rear storage. This is the best example of how Volvo did a lot with a little. Seats are 60-40 split, and the rear storage looks like it could hold some very tall items. There's more storage under the floor, and even though it's no Model Y or Prologue, 90% of what you would need to put in this area of the vehicle seems to be able to fit in an EX30 as well. Longer items would be a challenge though.
That's my whole arm.
Again, impressive use of space for the footprint.
It's deep this way. Doesn't go back very far that way.
At this point in my visit, I had to take a break from the EX30 and peek into the EX90, which was just a few feet away. The design language is well delivered across both, and I can't say anything bad about the EX90, except the price, of course. But we are into a 3-row luxury realm at that point, so 5 figures isn't terrible. The steering wheel material is high quality and feels great in hand. The materials overall are unbelievably well chosen, appointed, and delivered in the EX90. It feels understated and elegant at the same time. I felt as if a lot of focus went towards confident and accomplished interior aesthetic, and they nailed it. It's beautiful and feels new, but also very classic Volvo. The seats are as attractive as they are comfortable to sit in, and as a passenger, this is a really nice place to ride, with some ingenious features. Watch this cup holder pop out of the armrest in the second row. From the door handles to the recycled material choices, the EX90 justifies its upscale price with understated 21st century luxury. If you're looking for a 3-row, don't buy until you drive and sit in an EX90. Back inside the EX30, the infotainment menu is next level. It feels much more like a Rivian or a Tesla than a Cadillac or a Ford EV. I honestly equate the quality of the center screen to an iPad as far as simplicity, intuitiveness, and ease of use. It has a full suite of Google-based software and, correct me if I'm wrong, but seems to be running a very new version of Android Automotive. The climate controls are permanently displayed at the bottom of the touchscreen, regardless of the menu you're navigating. The icons are large, the contrast is vivid and intentional, even down to the ability to read the font on the icons. The overhead console, despite being piano black, had a redundant physical hazard button, as well as some additional functions like front and rear defrost. It adds a really modern feel to the minimalist approach Volvo has taken with the EX30 interior. The rear view mirrors are frameless, adding to the upscale feel, and the blind spot monitors are large and clear, embedded into the mirrors. There's a full suite of cameras on board, and here's a look at the layout of the driver's side rear view mirror. Beneath the cup holders, there's a lot of storage, a couple USB-C ports, and a wireless phone charger. Nothing extraordinary to report in the driver's footwell, except that the layout makes it feel really open as far as legroom, as the EX30 lacks tall, partition-style barriers in the middle of the front compartment. That's a really nice touch for a small vehicle. The ambient lighting isn't super customizable as far as color, but the choice you make also applies effects to infotainment, increasing the depth of the aesthetic, so points for that. And if you haven't caught the theme here, a ton of cost-saving strategies present themselves in the EX30, but none of them make the vehicle feel cheap, like for example the center glove box. It's big, easy to reach, and prevents Volvo from having to make 2 different models for left and right-hand drive markets. Moving to some additional exterior highlights, the roofline is black on this yellow EX30, giving it a 2-tone feel that I really appreciate. The lower part of the doors have a ridged plastic that doesn't feel super durable and would be challenging to detail, both in material type and in time to clean. It's probably my least favorite thing about the EX30. Wheels are 19-inch, 245/45/19, and are spectacularly paired with the design language of the EX30. I prefer no chrome to any chrome, always, but as with the rest of the EX30, it's minimalist, stylish, understated, and screams efficiency. Contrary to the material on the lower doors, these wheels would likely be extremely easy to keep clean as well. I do think the front of the EX30 could be a tad bit polarizing. I like it very much, as I do on other Volvos, but I could see how it could be described as plain. I feel the exact same way about the headlight and daytime running light layout. I like it, but I could see how others could have a love-hate relationship with it. Other than the immediate front though, the EX30 looks great from every other angle it's hard to express with a camera. No notes at all on the exterior design. The wheel wells are pushed out from the body, providing a nice aggressive touch for the stance of the EX30, and unlike newer Teslas, it does feature ultrasonic sensors for pinpoint accuracy in close quarters. Sitting behind myself in the back is absolutely effortless, offering plenty of head and legroom. I'd say 6'1", 6'2" is probably the maximum size for a comfortable ride, however, but the EX30 greatly benefits here from its bespoke EV architecture. I'm happy to answer any questions I can. If you have them, them? Let me know in the comments. Do you like the color? Do you prefer the minimalist approach, or did they go too far? Do you see an EX30 in your future? And what's the most you would pay for it? Finally, how would you spec your EX30? And what EV do you want to see me look at next? Let me know down below. Join Patreon or become a YouTube member for early access to videos, and subscribe for more. We'll see you on the next one.
Hey! Smash the like button!
Thank you.